Bit of an ugly push-ups over there, eh? Okay. Are you one of those persons who have done kind of push-up before? Or do you know someone who have done kind of push-ups before? So if you're one of those, so today we're going to focus today on mastering those push-up positions. As we all know, onto our push-ups, there's a lot of moving parts involved. It starts from the wrist, shoulders, midsection, hips, and even our toes. All of them have got a lot to do with it. Today's video, we're going to focus on only 3 parts to make it easier for you to digest. Starting with the wrist, shoulders, midsection, and hips. For wrist, push-up requires us to have an active range onto our wrist extension and flexion. Better to have those two, okay? If you find that once you're doing your push-ups that your wrists do lack that active control or mobility, you might need to lean onto something to hold on to. Next would be our shoulders. Our shoulders do go into 2 different positions whenever we're doing push-ups. First is protraction, that is actively pushing it away. So as you can see here, this is retraction, this is protraction. Retraction, protraction. On the top position, it should be an active, protracted position while keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. So you can see here in front of the front view, for my case, I would need to have my fingers slightly pointed out to allow my elbow pits to be pointed forward, and as a result, my shoulders would have a better chance of keeping it away from my ears instead of me doing push-ups on the shrug position. So now we got the wrist, shoulder position, fingers are pointed to the side. Next would be our midsection and our hips. Now once you've locked those first couple of positions, we're going to focus onto our pelvic tilt. So usually, if the core muscles aren't engaged, the lower back defaults onto this arched position. What we're going to do instead is reverse that one by tucking our pelvis in. You're going to think as if you're bringing your pelvis towards your chest or belly button towards your chest. So from here, getting through here. Okay. Once you've nailed those positions, next thing you would do is extending one leg back and make sure that everything stays in line from your wrist, shoulders, midsection, and hips. If it's still all in line, extend the other leg back. Then from there, you would try to find that proper position where you can push the ground away, keeping your shoulders protracted, doing that pelvic tuck, having the core in place as well. Shoulder stays away from the ears. You can slightly rock forward to increase more tension, and think as if you're bringing your forearms and your toes closer to each other, getting more of that intra-abdominal pressure, not this way, but instead this way. Squeezing your glutes as tight as well as much as you can, holding that one between 5 to 15 seconds. You can see there everything's working, actively pushing the floor away from me. Core, shoulders, hips, wrists, all in proper position. Give that one a try, then let me know how it goes.